We are go. Welcome everyone to another stream on the Stay Gold Squad here. Just three of us for this dive. Joe's taking a little break, but I think he just couldn't handle Malick. That's
Yeah, I think the Coens just burned him out.
They really did a number on him, honestly. But yeah, starting a new dive, whole new director. It's a whole new world over here. Terrence Malick is the go-to guy for this dive. I've seen
Yes,
zero
sir.
movies except for the one we just
Same.
watched.
Same.
We're
On
getting
the
kind of
same
back
boat.
to the Kubrick vibes. Where we don't really know what to expect. At least I don't.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
Yeah. Be a good one. And then have him in my repertoire too. Could talk about his style, his stuff. So, yeah. Also talking Monster, 2003's Monster by Patty Jenkins.
Yeah.
Pretty great pairing for this movie.
Kind of cosmic. Yeah, it worked out.
Perfect.
Definitely. You guys want to start with Monster and just go through that one before we get into the dive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this actually completes my Patty Jenkins filmography because she only has like 3 movies, and 2 of them are Wonder Woman's. So,
Yep.
yeah, it was definitely on my list for a while. I heard really good things about like the quality of the movie, and then Charlize Theron's acting in the movie.
It's the big takeaway going into it. Everyone knows about the transformation that Charlize did. So
pretty
It was
physical.
Impact.
yeah, my God.
Yeah. Those teeth.
Yeah, let's get into it. What did you guys think about this movie overall?
I really liked it. I think I just have a thing for couples doing crimes on sort of on the run. The difference with this one was that her significant other didn't really know much about it until about a little over halfway through. She tells her that she actually killed somebody, but even so, she was just like, okay, well, you had to, but she doesn't know about the other stuff going on. So that was just an interesting little aspect of it, and it was also fun that it was true crime. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I read up on the
real deal
story
shit.
afterward just because I was interested to see the
Yeah.
differences and the similarities. But yeah, she's more.
Yeah.
I guess Christina Ricci's more complicit than most of the other gung ho, Thelma and Louise type movies or whatever. She just
Mhm.
kind of knows about it and lets it go instead of actively being a part of the action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty pivotal to the end too, where she's on that last call. And I don't know. Do you think? Because I kind of got the sense that, well, maybe not. I don't know. That Charlize Theron's character was because she says at the beginning, she's like, I don't know if they're listening, and then she still confesses, kind of. But it was you had no part of it. So
Yeah,
I don't know if it was just to calm down her, or she was just like, you know what, I'm at the end here.
it seemed like Christina Ricci was trying to back off from the being involved in the cop size,
Right.
Yeah.
and then Charlize Theron's character had to kind of either accept it or not.
Right.
I mean, I think she accepted a little bit of it, obviously, towards in the court case or whatever. But
That's what I got. I think she just took the full blunt of it because that way she didn't take her down with her. So she had to take full on just responsibility for it.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. One of the few people that actually cared about her in her life, right?
Right.
It's harsh.
Which is crazy.
Sad.
They never spoke after that either.
Oh no.
Yeah, I read that up on the Christina Ricci character just doesn't want to talk about her. Will never bring it up really. Or
Which,
you never
I mean,
really know
I get
how
it.
much she knows, but
I get that. It's not like she was super involved in it. I mean, she did ride in the cars of the men that she would kill and thinking that they were just friends of hers.
yeah, just borrowing a car.
But all in the Charlene Theron's characters, what her name? Abigail? Is that her name?
I don't even remember. It's been a couple days.
Yeah, no. Well, her character, all that girl told her was, "You have to take care of me," essentially, and that's what she was doing. So I mean, I don't know. I just felt towards the middle part there, once she got that attention from Charlize's character, she kind of was wanting something else. She was ready to move on. It wasn't enough. So when she met her new friends,
right?
Yeah,
And
it was more like, this woman's kind of embarrassing, but she helped me kind of reach out.
Right.
So at that point, I'm just kind of why? I don't know. she just felt ungrateful, and that bothered me, and it made me sympathize with Charlene's character, which is kind of interesting because she is, the bad person, a criminal.
The dichotomy of like understanding and condemning Charlize Theron. I think her name's Lee. Is that right? She says Lee.
It is Lee. Yes.
Aileen,
Eileen,
or
yeah, Aileen,
or I think she
whatever.
calls her
Okay.
Lee or
Yeah,
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does like this movie like
Eileen.
perfectly toes the line of like backing her thoughts and perspectives, and then obviously when it goes too far, like you can't back them after a while, you know. But
Yeah.
even at the court case at the end, where she says something along the lines of like, well, let me see. She says, "You're sending a raped woman to death, and you're all scum." And I'm
Yeah.
like in her eyes, like that's completely justified, you know, like.
yeah.
And that's
And
that's
I
what's
kind of get
crazy about, yeah, both these movies today that we're talking about, like, but this one specifically is the way she would justify everything. Like she would have these conversations with these guys, like, oh, you like to roughhouse and all this stuff. So she would like build this story of building herself up to justify the killing of these people.
right.
All obviously it stems from the traumatic experience she did actually have.
Mhm.
So in order for her to get to that section to kill the guy, she had to come up with a reason and kind of justify her
Keep
actions.
justifying it down the
Yeah.
fucking
Those were
spiral.
tense scenes when she was, and you're like when she's in the car with these different guys, and you're like, okay, like
Yeah.
How far is this
what is he
going?
gonna
Yeah.
do? What is she thinking? Yeah.
Yeah. I thought the script was really good, honestly.
It was,
Like
yeah.
the way like with the each John or whatever kind of being introduced and the stakes escalating with her situations in those cars.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it starts completely justified. Like she's gonna probably get killed, and she was like raped, you know, and like, and it's like self defense for that first one.
Yeah.
And then you start to meet like the dude who had never done that kind of thing before, and she can't really kill him, you know, and like
Right.
starts to get a little gray. And then like the dudes at the end, like Scott Wilson, fucking Herschel from
Yeah.
Walking Dead.
Yeah. Rest
At
in
that
peace,
point,
brother.
Okay, yeah. I thought
Rest
he
in
looked
peace.
familiar. I was like, I
Yeah.
couldn't place him. Shit.
It's just like she's too far gone at that point and has to go down there.
Right.
Mhm.
Too far gone. That's the episode that Herschel dies too. There you go.
Yeah, what a callback. Yeah, when I saw
Yeah.
him
Trivia.
and he was the John, I'm like, there's no way he's gonna be a bad guy. Like you can't this guy
Right.
cannot play like a bad
Right.
character. But then when it turns out he's got a family and he wants to help her, she didn't have to kill him. I don't think he would have squealed, but at that point I think she was just, too far
The
into the
angst or
meat.
like the anguish when she was like
Yeah.
having to pull that trigger was
Yeah.
real, for sure.
Yeah, all that build up. Yeah.
This is like a dirty, grimy movie, man. I mean, it just fucking feels nasty to watch.
Yeah.
The rape scene in particular was like some of the most
Dude.
disturbing and uncomfortable. Like usually it's like I don't want to say like shown in a more light sort of way, but like this one was just straight up just uncomfortable. I don't know. There was
It's
something
just like,
different about this scene that made it seem
Raw.
more authentic and
Yeah.
less like for the movies, you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I
hard to
think it's more
watch.
realism. Yeah, like it's like it just kind of comes out of nowhere with that dude. You know,
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's obviously there deep down, but like it's so casual and then not immediately. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You can almost feel like, yeah, I think that, I mean, that scene is in particular like building up to his actions are like, you can kind of like feel it going that way, but you're always, I think, at least for Charlie's character, it's like you're not sure, it's like, is this
Yeah.
just going to be another job or whatever? But
She's been in similar situations like that, and they
Right.
haven't gone
Yeah.
that far, obviously. So
she's smart enough to like not take more, take more of his flask and stuff like that. It's like, okay,
Right.
so she's like aware here, but
yeah, she's starting to
Yeah, she's
back
been
up a
hooking
little
since
bit.
she was 13, so
that's crazy.
And then there's like a
crazy.
subtle reveal that she had like a baby at that age too. You don't even like hear about that till like 3/4 of the way in.
yeah.
She gave it
When
up
she's
for
talking to the
adoption.
detective, right?
Is it? Yeah. Okay. It's very late, and it's like kind of brings
Yeah.
around another perspective for you for her. I mean, the first 2 minutes of this movie, like there's like this light intro of her like talking about her dreams about being an actress, and she always thought she'd be
Like,
famous and stuff
cut.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that harsh cut to like sitting under a bridge with the rain was so powerful.
Yeah,
And just
crazy.
you knew everything about that character in 2 minutes. Like that was just super well done in the script and in the execution.
Yeah,
It also
definitely.
it does a great job of like setting you up as like, okay, she's narrating this, like does she get there or does she get some sort of happy ending, by the end of it? Because I was
Yeah.
like, while she was narrating still, and like, you're seeing her and Selby together so much, you're like, oh, this could, maybe this could work out. You want this to work out. It obviously doesn't. You're like, oh, this is reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar, like
Harsh.
at the end though, like I was saying, you kind of relate, or at least you understand this character more, because a lot of the true crime stuff at the end when they're in the courtroom, most of the feelings you have are just like, finally, like that motherfucker got what he deserved or she deserved, and like
Yeah.
this one I just didn't feel that much like that. I mean, obviously she's a murderer and she's a terrible person, but I just like, I guess I empathize with this character a little more than just most true crime characters.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
it's
that.
it's weird because like empathizing with her and her killing these dudes. Normally, you think murder, that's obviously a horrible thing, but like, are these actually good dudes? They're out cheating on their wives. They're,
Yeah.
doing all this dirty stuff. So is it like, are they actually good people that she's killing? I don't know. It's just weird
Right.
because you're trying to also justify why you're like sympathizing with this character. So it's
Yeah.
just an
For sure.
interesting way to tell like this kind of true crime story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her speech about circumstances too. It's like for circumstances, man. Nobody fucking gets circumstances, and it's like, I mean, yeah, if she's been hooking since 13, like that's all she's known,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, just talking about performances, Charlize Theron won Best Actress for this role, and to me, it's
Mm.
completely deserving. I mean, she
Yeah.
transforms into this person, and she has like no makeup, looking terrible, like. And in the same year, she did Italian Job, the remake, the Italian
Yeah.
Job,
Holy
and she's
shit.
like the
She's
sexy,
banned
like
in that.
yeah, she's like complete opposite, and that's the same year, and
Yeah.
that just shows the range that she has.
That's dope.
Fun fact that I learned about Charlize Theron: her mom killed her dad in self-defense when she was a kid. Just
I
Whoa.
didn't know
yeah,
that. Holy shit! So maybe
yeah. I was
this
reading up on Charlize and I was like, "What the hell?"
maybe this brought back some visceral feelings or thoughts. I don't
Yeah,
know. That's why
Trauma,
she could
man.
get there.
Acting is a therapeutic
Yeah,
profession,
just use it. Just
Yeah.
use it. Yeah. Similar to Christina Ricci, I thought was a great casting choice. She did a good job in the role, obviously, but she has this like sense of like innocence
yeah,
behind her, and then but also like the silent like understanding of everything that's going on, and she
yeah.
plays that character, and that's like kind of to her strengths for sure. So
She reminds me of a couple of the times she reminded me of Anna Faris, I think is the girl's name,
hmm,
where it's just kind of like I couldn't see past the, like you said, like the innocence kind of, not
yeah,
ditzy really, but like just kind of floating around.
kind of yeah. She
Yeah.
definitely doesn't
Little
have
Yeah,
all
lost.
the tools to like
yeah.
make her own decisions and stuff. So
Yeah. But I thought she comes off a lot more intelligent than uh the girl in the Badlands. I don't know, man.
yeah, that's talking
She
about fucking innocent, not making decisions. Hell
yeah, that we can get to that later, but
yeah.
yeah, I just made
I
that
mean
comparison.
these are
Quick.
a nice little double feature. Weirdly,
Mhm.
And
Action package.
I don't know if it was just me and I was just riding off the high of like I watched Badlands first and then I watched this one,
mm,
but there's that little tune that the Badlands opens with. It's the same tune that True Romance, the credits of True Romance has.
yeah,
I think that tune plays during like that little montage of Monster
does it?
as well. I feel like it was. Maybe I
Nice.
was just like coping, but it just
Yeah,
felt like I
you
was
just
like, this
heard
is
it.
the trifecta. Like this is
Yeah,
it. You
yeah.
have
These
the
three
true
movies.
crime Badlands. You have the true romance. Tony Scott obviously loves Badlands. Then you have the lesbian version of it all. It's the fucking trifecta.
It
The
is.
So,
Triforce. Triforce of
Perfect.
crimes.
but,
The
Perfect.
soundtrack, I mean, was fucking fire in this movie too. It was like
yeah,
classic
Yeah.
Journey, fucking like Crimson and Clover playing. Like
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
brings the cool to it, even though it's like bad.
yeah.
Yeah. Fits
But
the vibe
yeah,
somewhat. Yeah.
I was just mind
Why
blown after this movie though. Like, how did Patty Jenkins not get more movies made after this movie?
Yeah,
I
that's a
don't
good
get it.
question.
He sold her soul to the superhero franchises.
That was like
Yeah.
15 years later though,
I
too. So it's
know.
like, what was? I mean, she did like
Yeah.
some TV stuff during that time, but like, I feel like she should have been making 5 more movies between that and Wonder Woman. I don't know.
right?
Like
With the best
compare her to
actress.
Catherine Bigelow, where Catherine Bigelow and her are kind of like I would say on the same par in terms of filmmaking. Like, what happened? Catherine Bigelow obviously is still doing like pretty decent films, but like Wonder Woman, really?
Yeah, like what? How
Yeah.
did you get from this to this? Because this is like, to me, I mean, I'll just give it now. This was like a 4.5 star movie. I thought it was
Yeah,
super effective, and I really was on the journey. So
yeah, definitely. It's a 4-star movie for me as well. It's just I was definitely like we discussed, just sympathizing with characters, and the script was super well written, and the characters. It's like when you get these kind of like lightning in a bottle relationships, you got to believe it that it's like, oh, this happened over the course of one conversation or one night, drunk night together, and it's sold in this movie. But I think it's a good script that sells that.
definitely.
For sure.
So,
I mean, I
but
ended on 3.5.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Mostly, I don't know.
Explain yourself.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I originally I gave Badlands like 3, and
Yeah, that's a tougher discussion, I'd say for sure.
yeah, I think it was maybe just because, but I bumped that one up half a star because I was like, I was probably just a little tired after watching Monster, thinking that one was a little bit better.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I could give this one 4, but I just thought like this one's such a tough watch that I don't know if I could rewatch it that much. So,
Yeah, it's hard. Definitely.
but it's good. It's good.
this
I'll give it
is
that.
one of these movies that my mom would always tell me. She's like, "You seen Monster yet?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "It's crazy.
This is an
It's
Alex's mom
crazy."
movie.
Yeah, yeah. So
Nice.
as soon
I'd
as I
love to
watched
get
it,
that
I called
list.
her up
Yeah,
and I was
we
like,
just
"Guess what movie I watched?" And she was like, "Well," I was like, "I'll give you a hint. Hookin', and it's crazy." And she was like, "Oh, you watched Monster?" I was like, "Yep, that's the one."
Nice.
So,
we need a graphic. Alex's mom seal of approval
Yeah.
pops up.
I think we just have to have your mom on one of these times, honestly, and just like get some
Yeah.
perspectives on her movie, her tastes.
so I was asking her like what her like most like movies that she would bring with her like on an island or whatever. And obviously Goodfellas is one of those, but like some of the more recent ones that she's been watching on repeat. I don't know if you've seen Brawl in Cell Block 99.
No, but isn't that
That
like
is like
Vince Vaughn or some
brutal
shit?
fucking violence, yeah. And she's just like, yeah, I just turned that on and watched it. I'm like, I mean, it's
Oh,
fun movie, but
yeah.
Yeah.
all right, ma.
She's going through her fucking dark phase or some shit,
Yeah.
or
Well,
violent
when you're on an
phase.
island, man, you're gonna be doing some savage shit. So, that's your fuel. That's your fuel for hunting.
Mm,
I think she said her top three right now are obviously there's Goodfellas, but then there's that Sprawl and Cell Block 99 and Shot Caller are like her ones that she just turns on.
I've
Like
never seen Shot Caller either.
that's actually a pretty good one too. I
Yeah.
mean, they're all good, fun movies. Obviously, Goodfellas is like the prestige one of all those, but like the other two, Brawl is a straight up grindhouse movie,
Mm.
and then Shot Caller is just a fun movie. I don't know, I like it.
I saw that the rewatchables just did that, but I gotta
Yeah,
watch the movie first before I listen. So
yeah. I told my mom, I was like, guess what the rewatchables just released? What movie? And her first guess was Poseidon, and because that's one of her rewatchables.
that's a
I've seen
rewatchable
that
movie.
It
countless
is.
times.
It
It
For
is.
is.
sure.
And then she was like, "Wait, wait,
What
wait!
the,
Is it Shot Caller?" I was like, "Yes, it's Shot Caller."
Damn. You have a nice connection with your mom. That's nice.
I do. Yeah.
yeah, I wish
What's our mom's favorite
I
movie?
was like just
Grease.
mom.
Probably
Yeah, Grease.
Grease.
Reese.
Grease.
Oh,
I
My
that's
love
mom was
Sarah's
Grease.
into.
dad's favorite movie.
Oh really? Well,
Yeah. I
That's
can't.
good.
I don't know. I can't. Okay, that's his second favorite movie. His first favorite movie is Top Gun, but he watches Grease constantly.
Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, huh? Tom Cruise train.
I think Grease
Hell
was
yeah.
played so many times in my youth that it just kind of imprinted into me as like, that's a great. I like that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun, man. It's fun.
It's not bad. Yeah.
I hate that movie.
Well, there we go.
Hey, I mean, it's in line with her taste. I think she was into Hallmark movies for a while when we
Oh,
did, like when Christmas time comes around, all those.
Believe it or not,
Dad,
that was my
dad,
mom.
yeah. What?
Yeah, Christmas
That's
Christmas comes around and she turns on the Hallmark channel. She steps away from the Grindhouse and goes to
yeah.
Hallmark. So
such a
That's
dichotomy.
yeah. End of the year, you got to feel good after all that fucking
yeah.
grind.
True. New Year, new me.
Nice. Yeah, great movie. I mean, see what we pick
Yeah.
next week. Got to get the picks still going, but Yeah, should we just move into Malick now? Start this new
Yeah.
Yeah,
dive. Cool.
Terrence Malick.
Yeah, I think Alex, you were kind of spearheading this one. Not that I didn't want to watch Malick,
Yeah.
but it was on your brain for a while, right?
Yes, yeah, this is actually because I've never seen any of his films, and I hear he's pretty like unique in his storytelling techniques. At least later on, I think in his other movies, I think probably starting with Thin Red Line, his storytelling kind of, at least from what I've heard. And one of my coworkers always tells me how I need to watch Thin Red Line. It's his favorite movie and all this stuff. So we're getting there, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
interested to see if he's
See what
in
he's
my
got.
wheelhouse of directors I can admire. And
Yeah.
honestly, out the gates, he's in my bag. I think I like it. I'm a
Okay.
huge fan of what I watched. So
I
Nice.
will say, dude, I loved Martin Sheen in this movie.
Mhm.
Thought he was great.
Yeah.
And I definitely see like the manic nature that Charlie Sheen has. I don't know. Right? Because I'm
See,
assuming Charlie is his son.
it's his son.
Charlie,
Or
yeah,
yeah.
And Amelia Estevez
That's
too.
crazy.
Right?
yep,
Wait, for real?
Yeah, they're
yeah,
brothers. Yeah.
they're
Oh,
brothers.
that's kind of sick.
Right.
They were in this movie. I'm pretty sure they had a little cameo. They were like the kids under a tree or something.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Bringing him
Yeah,
on the set, bringing him to work.
starting them
Yeah.
young.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked Martin Sheen a lot in this movie. I liked how they referenced him basically trying to be James Dean. To me, that was like a very
Yeah.
I
human
kiss your
quality to
ass
bring
if you
to
don't
it.
look like James Dean.
What a weird ass line to say.
There were
But
some, there were a few weird ones in
yeah,
this one.
yeah, for sure. It makes it. I mean, it makes that
Just heavy.
aspect of it makes it feel like postmodern in a way that I wasn't expecting for such a early Thelma and Louise type movie. You know,
Mhm,
it's not like the first of these movies, but it's definitely like pretty early on.
definitely.
And it
Yeah.
feels more self-aware than a lot of the ones that are even made nowadays. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Similar to Monster for me, you know, it felt like you knew these characters straight off like the first few minutes. I mean, the first line that Sheen says is says something about the dog being dead, or he'll eat have the guy eat the dog or some shit.
Yeah. What
And
the
I was
heck?
just like, this is not a normal person. So you exactly know where his head's at and what he's thinking. And then obviously the girl is like the 15-year-old, not necessarily simple minded, but innocent, doesn't know
Yeah.
any
The
better.
world.
And yeah. So right off the bat, you're with the characters and you kind of believe, like in Monster, where this kind of spark. I don't know if a spark's the right word for this relationship, but this relationship happens
The
so quickly.
kidnapping.
Yes, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's a different kind of spark. One came from a gun barrel, and the other came from genuine attraction. Because
Across
even
the bar.
even Martin Sheen said his character was like he had no interest in like the sexual side of things, and he told her that. So it was just kind of like again, you just knew where this character stood, which was
Yeah.
super interesting.
Even though you don't, to
So,
me, like he's a very like veiled character because like I wouldn't expect all this. I guess he does talk about like killing a dog, which is like an easy line to just
and he
get you
steps
there.
on the cow when it's dead.
Yeah, it's just like his
Rock is a
kindness
souvenir.
towards the uh Sissy Spacek's character. It's just like, why is this? He's just murdering people left and right with no conscience, basically. And it's just like, holy
Yeah.
shit! Like, who the fuck is this guy? You know, like,
Yeah. That's why I got the sense that he like latched on to. I don't know. It's like his character is like of the mind of destroying beautiful things, you know? Like he's kind of on this war path. And then
Yeah.
because he picks up
don't
that rock,
give
he's
a
like,
shit.
yeah, should I keep this rock as a souvenir? We could smash our heads with it later.
Fuck yeah.
I'm just like, okay, so this
If
guy's
you're
just
like,
on.
yeah, he's like this dude just picking up trash who basically has nothing going on. You know, that's kind of what I
Yeah.
got.
Yeah.
And he like fixates on this girl that like is pretty or whatever that he walks by or some shit. You know.
And it's
Yeah.
like he builds this fantasy out of the actions that unfold after. Like as soon as he kills her dad, it's like his world now, and he's building it, which was super interesting because he creates this narrative of them, taking their own lives because they couldn't live with their actions or whatever, and they
Yeah.
go build this life in the forest. He builds these traps, and he's just like he's just having fun with what he's creating, and obviously he's gaining traction with the feds. So it was just kind of an interesting where like he finally hit his bag of like, all right, now I know who I am.
I'm just on the
I'm not
run
just
now.
Right,
Just
and he's a
settling over.
criminal,
Yeah.
and now he is somebody, which I think is
Yeah.
kind of what his I don't know if it was his goal, but like it definitely fed into what he wanted in life, which was recognition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. By the end,
So
he's like, in his mind, he's like this celebrity.
Yeah,
that
the
was
way
a
he
great
like
end
the way he
sequence.
gets
Yeah.
arrested and is like just totally chill with all the cops getting into the plane and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's definitely a weird ending that you not in a good way though, because like most
yeah.
movies don't end like that, and the guy isn't like as remorseful as he was, and yeah,
It was so yeah, such a good ending, I think. I mean, it really made him like showed how he was like celebrity status, and everyone was kind of just amazed with the fact that this guy who looks like James Dean is kind of crazy, but he also like went on this killing spree with no justification for any of the killings, really.
yeah,
Besides
No.
the
no,
first
Yeah.
one, the other ones were just
not
random
getting
mass
caught.
killings,
I
right?
guess
Yeah.
like
Trying to keep it going. Yeah.
yeah, just keep the rush going. Yeah, I
Yeah,
really
it's
Yeah.
loved
just
the treehouse set.
Unhinged.
That shit was awesome. They don't even
yeah,
spend that much time there, but like the amount of work it looked like to build that shit was fucking nuts.
yeah, definitely.
And then he goes
Definitely.
to like his buddy's place or whatever from work, and
Yep.
he just shoots him because he was about to maybe go talk. You don't even really know,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
Right.
Yeah. Just walking in the field or whatever.
yeah.
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 So
Crazy.
what did you guys think of this movie, I guess? What did you like it? I mean, I don't know if you've said it or not.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't love it. Maybe on rewatches it'll grow. And also, we're pretty early on in the Malick dive.
Yeah.
So I feel like I haven't really gotten my full taste of like what I'm getting from this filmmaker. Because like I said before, it's not the first like Thelma and Louise type story, but it's pretty early on. But around this time, a lot of people were making movies like this. Like even Spielberg in '74, he made the Sugarland Express.
Hmm.
It kind of feels like a reaction to a lot of the movies that were pretty successful or starting to become pretty successful, like Easy Rider and shit like that. Like low budget
Yeah.
highway movies. Um, so I guess I'm like waiting to see if I feel Malick's voice more in it, because to me it doesn't. From what I know of his later films, like you were saying, they tend to get different and weirder and like more loose and stuff like that. Where this feels like a
Hmm.
very tight idea and execution on something he did, which it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll see how it ages for me.
I just think what made this one stand out again, it's such a good pairing with Monster with the characters. I just feel like the characters were just well constructed. Like you knew, like even when you didn't know their motives really, and it was just kind of like them Charlie Sheen and the main killers essentially. You don't really understand why they're doing it. Like you understand Charlize better and she's justifying it. And this guy you don't really understand why, but at the
No,
same time you're kind of
along
you're
You're
for the
you're there in
learning.
ride.
his fantasy and you're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
You're
So
learning pretty quickly that he's just unhinged a little bit and going
right.
going
He's just
along.
trigger happy.
Yeah. No, I like this
So
one too, and I kind of was on the same wavelength of like I didn't want to rate this one too high because like what else is there for Malik, and I guess it doesn't really matter. So I can we can re-rate stuff, but I just erred on the side of being like, this was good. I'm gonna leave it here at 3.5, and go from there. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
no.
I don't know. I haven't seen much with Martin Sheen. I haven't seen any of Terrence Malick. So far he's doing good. He's got good
I,
shit
I did watch the
on the
first
track.
7 minutes of Days of Heaven, and I just think Terrence Malick has an eye for just good cinematic shots too.
Nature
That
shots.
did stand out. Yeah, in
Yeah,
Badlands. I was like, the
Definitely.
cinematography in this is pretty
yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I like, the rumors are like kind of the stuff I've heard of Malick in his later films, especially. He'll just like have nothing. He'll have something planned, and then what I've heard is like he'll see a butterfly fly, and then basically he'll like focus all efforts on getting a shot of that butterfly now. So like nature cinematic. I'm curious to see how much that evolves for sure,
Hell
because it
yeah.
seems like that's his goals. So
That's funny. That sounds like ooh, shiny thing. Get the cameras on it. Get the camera.
I mean, he's from what like he's following his like bliss, or he's following his like
Just
love.
the artistic instincts. Yeah, whatever.
So,
Yeah.
as long as it's
Cool.
justified, as long as it feels good, I mean, this is a pretty tight movie, Badlands. So
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
it's an easy watch. I'm kind of
Yeah.
worried about because as this career goes, so do the runtimes go up.
Yeah, I posted all the runtime just because I thought they were pretty interesting. How they
Yeah,
just the last movie is 3 hours long.
Holy fuck! All right.
yeah. But big name actors in most every movie. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be easy to watch no matter what. But whether the movies are my favorites or whether I like them, we'll see. You know.
Yeah, I did look at the Thin Red Line. I'm in for a war movie, so I was
I
excited.
usually don't like war movies, but if it's something different, like that's what made Full Metal Jacket stand out as a war movie. It was something different, you know, one of Kubrick's only good movies, in my opinion. One of his only great movies, I should say. But yeah, so maybe I'll
Yeah,
like
we'll
it.
see
But
if it stands
Yeah.
out somehow for sure.
Yeah,
out the gates, though, I'm on board. I really enjoyed this one. Super
yeah,
simple, super tight, and kind of just I like it. You know,
Did the
obviously
True
the intro,
Romance
Tony.
music did that just like unlock like enjoyment for you of like oh and
As
now I like it, you know, like
as soon as
yeah,
the credits
yeah,
happened and the music kicked in and he was walking, I'm like, what is this? What does this
right.
remind me of? What? And then I was just
Heard
kept
this
thinking
before.
as the credits were going, I'm like, this is fucking True Romance. Tony Scott probably loves this movie, and
Mm,
then it worked with this script, this great script that Tarantino gave him. So yeah,
right. Tarantino must have
I don't
loved
know
this
if
movie
that.
too or enjoyed it too
Yeah,
because it seems
definitely.
like
yeah,
he took a lot too. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
I
also true crime. I guess this is based on like real people.
oh yeah, I think it was like
yeah.
one of the
I didn't know
first
that.
movies, yeah, to like
Yeah,
take on a
Take
true crime
that.
like that, or yeah, or like maybe one of the first murder
interesting.
like cases like that.
I think
Um,
the girl, since you say SpaceX character, I don't think in the real people, I don't think she ever got remarried. In fact, I think he threw her under the bus in the court case. If I don't know, I did
like she was
research
the
the
part
day
of it
of.
or whatever.
Yeah, I think he said that she was the most trigger happy person he ever met, like when he was in court. So
That's what she said about him in the movie, right? Yeah.
yes, yeah. So
Hmm.
that was just interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's telling the truth?
Hmm.
I did like the
Yeah.
visual of like her childhood toys going up in flames. I thought that was
Mhm.
like obviously pretty good visual for like her innocence being destroyed and like this new
Yeah.
chapter starting.
And
So in the movie, she's definitely not a factor or basically non-existent in any decision making.
yeah,
So
she's just
Right.
being dragged along. Yeah.
One part that did stand out for me for her character was she knew long before it was over that it was over between them, just because when they're in the woods she's doing the voiceover and she's like, I wonder who I'll end up with, you know, or who she'll marry, like
mm-hmm.
knowing that this is going nowhere. And I
Yeah,
just thought that was an interesting choice to just drop halfway through the movie, because you think, oh, these guys are gonna, at least you're meant to think that they're gonna stick it out, but then she says those things, so
yeah.
it's just interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Interesting
really
choice.
liked
Yeah.
the shot of
Yeah.
like after they murder somebody. It's like when he shoots into the fucking well or like the cellar
Yeah.
and that dude.
You think I got him?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they run away and he like puts his hand out for her to hold, and then she
Mhm.
just like doesn't, and then like he eventually has to bring his hand back. But yeah, it definitely is like getting there, and then
Yeah.
pretty quickly I think she realizes this dude's just like a fucking wild card that I can't trust and be with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Good movie though. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
I think I need to watch like James Dean's movies actually too to get like the even a more full perspective of like
Yeah.
this guy's vibe and this guy's because I feel like James Dean was like the cool guy before that time and this guy's trying to be that cool guy and he doesn't have
Yeah.
the juice, you know,
Definitely.
basically. So
I'll kiss your ass if you don't look like James Dean.
yeah, what a manly man. If you said that today, like you'd be called so many names.
Yeah.
It'd be
Kiss your ass.
crazy. It was really hard to rate this one for me. I think I'm gonna land at 3.5, just to kind of, like you said, Noah, kind of like hedge my bets on the start of it all.
Yeah.
Similar to Kubrick, it's like with the killing. I didn't really know how to like take it first, and now that I look back
Mhm.
on that movie, I think it's way better than I thought originally. So
Mm.
like,
Mm.
we'll see at the end of the dive if I kind of adjust.
It's funny now that I'm thinking about it, because obviously this movie was an inspiration for Tarantino, and he has said that The Killing was an inspiration, and Killing is my favorite Kubrick movie. Yeah, this one I gave 4.5 stars. I gave it 4 initially, but as I thought throughout the week and let it like simmer with me, and I kept thinking about it.
Nice.
I don't know, and I kept telling people about it and how they should watch it. So I'm like, I think this movie's better than I think it is. So
Yeah.
It's good.
I figured I did have a sneaking suspicion after watching both of these two that like, because yeah, I think I like these were on my mind too after watching them. So I was like, you know what? But yeah, they might grow. The love might grow as time goes on, especially as we get deeper into Malick stuff.
All right. Or it could sour. We'll see.
What are the two? Yeah.
We'll
I'm,
see.
I'm definitely excited now. I was a little like kind of leery at first just because I was, I've only heard that Malik is a bit strange in his decision making.
Hmm.
So that's the only real things I've heard besides Thin Red Line being really good. So
I'm
so
curious. I'm
far,
definitely curious.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm more excited to move forward with him. So
Nice.
Yeah.
A couple that I'm like, pretty excited for, maybe the most, is like Voyage of Time
mhm.
and The Tree of Life. Those two I think are going to be like my, if I enjoy them, they might be my highlights, but guess we'll see.
I'm really looking forward to the Colin Farrell one. Actually, that's the one where it's like the New World or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw that.
But that's the one where I'm like the people I've chosen to follow on Letterbox. That's like when they're talking when I go through the reviews of Malik's movies. That's like up there on their list of their favorite Malik movie.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
it's like got mixed reviews amongst most people. So
Right. Hit or
Yeah.
I don't
miss.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. On Letterbox, it's was it 3? That's 3.8.
That's pretty high.
Not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just excited to start a new dive, honestly. It always feels good.
Yeah.
This one's going to be
Yeah.
not as much of a grind as the Coens, so it's a bit refreshing
yeah,
already.
For sure.
definitely, definitely.
A little easier. Something
No
we can all
disrespect to
newly
the Coens, of
experience.
course,
Nah,
but
it's, yeah.
No,
Looking at all their movies, it's like they all feel similar ish. I think with Malik, we're going to get at least a little different, couple
a lot
different
of
flavors.
variety.
yeah. Yeah.
I know he wrote, directed this one and Days of Heaven. Does he write and direct his own, like all his own movies?
I'm not sure about the later ones. I would
Seems
assume he
like
has
it.
some hand in the writing, but I don't know.
Yeah. I just like it when a director has like a writing credit. It just makes it feel more of like their baby, you know?
Full vision,
Yeah.
for sure.
Their
Yeah.
voice. And,
Hmm.
I mean, he writes Voyage of Time, writes and directs. That was 2016.
Yeah, okay,
That's a
maybe.
signifier.
I feel like he had to have had a hand in the Thin Red Line because after Days of Heaven, he takes like basically a 20-year break, right? Of like
Yeah.
filmmaking.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He must have come back with something he wanted to make.
Yeah. He must have came back like Von Trier when Von Trier came back from the loony bin. And that's probably not the right term to use for that, but
Patty
the
Jenkins
men,
coming
I
back
mean,
for Wonder Woman. You know, you just have this
yeah.
vision and this goal, and you just have to achieve it.
or a check.
Yeah.
Yeah, or money. Yeah,
Yeah.
you burn through all his cash from the first two films. Yeah, exciting.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks. I mean, it was a short talk. Gotta get more on Malik to kind of get a more like full perspective, but starting
Yeah.
early.
Yeah. I mean, we lost a voice too, so that always probably is a little bit of a
Yeah.
factor. But
Yeah.
uh,
Well,
be
I
back.
mean,
Back
fuck.
eventually.
You guys want to talk about anything else? I mean, shit.
Yeah, I
I'm
actually wanted to talk about Monkey Man real quick.
Yeah, I'm
uh,
down. Yeah, I saw it a couple of days
revenge
ago.
film. That's
I
Mm-hmm.
just
kind of
Mm-hmm.
my only thing with Monkey Man was obviously huge inspiration was John Wick. I mean, it was blatantly referenced in the movie.
That was pretty
I
wild.
just feel like in the beginning, the shaky cam kind of just ruined most of the beginning fight sequences. Like, I love shaky cam moments. Breaking Bad is pretty much all shaky cam, like all handheld. So like,
Not jerky cam
no,
though. You
this
know,
this
like
was this
okay.
was like fucking that movie. Was it Six Underground, where
yeah.
it looked like who directed that?
Is that Michael Bay?
Michael Bay. And Michael
Make
Bay
sure.
just like threw a camera in the car and just let it fly around. That's what this movie felt like.
Bouncing.
And like all the choreography and for the fight action sequences, all the effort went into that last sequence, which was a big improvement. It still had a lot of like jerky movements,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just better than the
More
first one.
intelligible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually really liked the first hour of the movie. Honestly, I thought it had like it set like a pace that never let up, and the shaky cam was part of that. But
Yeah.
100%, like I'm okay with shaky cam. I don't love it, and it serves a purpose, obviously, in filmmaking.
Yeah.
But if you're doing, I think there should be like a unwritten rule of like how many shots in a row that you can have
Yeah.
shaky cam. Because like after you do like 10 to 15 shots in a row, I just want to understand what I'm seeing on the screen. Like
Yeah.
it
It
was
made it
it was a lot.
incoherent to watch
It was
and
pretty tough. Yeah.
kind of nauseating, to be honest. Like there was a couple moments where I'm like, this is kind of making me dizzy just watching
Yeah.
like these sequences unfold. And it was just at the same time I'm trying to piece together what's actually happening. So it was just hard to,
Hard to get
I don't know,
information
do
out.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of
Otherwise,
weird
though,
because
the
like,
passion was there for sure. I really liked like his passion in the story, and I want the Dev Patel Netflix cut. You know, I
yeah.
get Jordan Peele helped him with the pacing or whatever, but like
Hmm.
I don't know. I just want to know more of the heart and soul of the movie rather than the action bits. You know?
It's kind of strange because I actually take like the opposite approach when I'm usually 100% the same with action movies where I want to like feel something more. For this
Yeah,
one, I think the visual, like the colors and the like impact of this like images when you could tell what was happening, I thought were so solid. Like it was, I
oh,
thought it was like
definitely, yeah,
beautiful and weird, and like the India of it all, like served a lot for me of like this foreign land to me,
definitely.
obviously, but
The different
and then
religions or gods and stuff, and the different
yeah,
like divide for people. That
and
was really
the rich and the
interesting.
poor. And I was worried it would be too much of a John Wick like ripoff, but I thought it was kind of its own thing after a while. Like it didn't really.
Definitely.
The character is obviously way different. He's got the skills, but he's kind of like the low end of the society instead of like this upper class legend that like John Wick is,
Yeah.
And then it kind of screeches to a halt when like you get more information and back. Like to me, I was like, I don't need that shit. Like let's just keep the fucking
That
pace going, Like you started it, but then you stopped it.
That's why I want to see his version, just because I cared more about that side of things. For the first time ever in an action movie, I wanted less action
Nice.
because I just felt like it was okay actually. Like it was really good when it was good, but like the shaky cam threw me off in the beginning.
Mhm.
But like when we slowed down and got like backstory, it brought the movie to a halt. But I think in a different world with more of that injected into it, I think it would have just the pacing would have been just fine for like 2.5
Maybe.
hours. You know, I
Really?
don't know. I just
Yeah.
it's like there was a ton of flashbacks to him and his mom, but then there was also flashbacks to that tragic thing that happened between his village and his mom and all that stuff. But like it felt disjointed, and I feel like there was something clearly cut out of that. And I feel like it should have led from his mom into that story, like the happy into the tragedy. And it was kind of cut
Halfway
here and
through.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. I didn't
So
really love the like when they did the flashbacks because they do it a couple
yeah.
times and then they give you like the full scene or whatever, and it's like okay,
Right. That's what felt weird, was that the full scene was just kind of thrown on you there right before the big action sequence. The whole scene was given to you, and I feel like if I don't know, it just felt like there was could have been something adjusted there. Maybe there was something adjusted, but they just cut it up. So I don't know.
yeah, I feel that. I
Just
did
felt like
like
it was
the
missing something.
yeah, it's fair. I did like the last fight. I audibly was like woo, and that's always a good moment when he gets like
Yeah.
stabbed in the fucking head with the sandal piece or whatever.
Yeah.
They got visceral. It got fucking dirty. It was cool. It's a cool movie for sure. I
Yeah,
liked it.
definitely.
I liked it more than most action movies, which I didn't think I was actually like, yeah, I'll go see it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And then I like sat there and I was like, oh, actually, I don't know. This was like more fresh and more interesting and cool than I thought it'd be. So I gave it 3.5. It's a good movie.
Yeah. I think I flopped between three and then I gave it 3.5. Or no, maybe I started at 3.5 and then I brought it down to three. Just because I just kept thinking about how I felt like something was missing from it all. And I kind of tried to justify the shaky cam, how it like slowly got less and less as he got better at the fighting. So I thought
Yeah,
maybe that was kind of the narrative he was going for, or
maybe.
I don't know.
I did.
And the claustrophobia of it all, sure, I guess. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just didn't really, I didn't like that style. But
Fair enough. Yeah. I did actually just listen to like a few interviews before I went and saw it with Dev Patel and Jordan Peele. And it
yeah,
seemed like Dev
Yeah.
Patel was like having a really hard time like selling the movie after he made it. Or like it wasn't like cutting together right. which to me maybe the shaky cam was like the main issue in that. I know Jordan Peele said he worked on a lot with like the soundtrack, which I mean the soundtrack's pretty. It comes in and kicks ass, yeah. So like,
Yeah.
I think whatever Jordan Peele did, I think elevated it. But you know, you can only elevate what you have so much after you've already filmed it. So I just wonder, it's his first time directing. You know, maybe he just didn't have it all like mapped out, even though he had a lot of shots and choices mapped out.
Yeah.
It didn't like add up fully. You know.
Yeah. I'm definitely interested in more of his work. I mean, he
Right.
definitely has something, you know.
Yeah.
He's one of the few actors that have turned director that I think have like a potential to be good, you know.
Sure. Yeah. I'm just at a point too now. I'm watching movies, too many movies, but like if it's a fresh voice and I can feel like a new person behind the camera and behind the writing, I'm there for it more now because I'm just sick of this fucking corporate old man mentality on a movie that's like it's not even a fucking movie. It's like it's a barely a voice even. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'd rather just watch Monkey Man where it's like someone is trying something. Like shit.
Yeah.
That's what I told yesterday actually. My buddy went and saw Kong, and I was like, why'd you go see Monkey Man instead? He's like, but you said it was only like a 3-star movie and that you had problems with it. I was like, I did, but like
Kong's a 3-star movie for me. So.
Yeah, but like
what do you
this one
expect?
is different. It's a voice that seems unique and has passion. And he's like, this sounds like a bad, like the easy way to say it. It's not a good movie, but I like it because it's because of this. And I was like,
Got
yeah, I
more
mean that
going
might be a
on.
cop out, but I don't know. I'm there for passion more. So
Right. You can feel it's something you can feel, you know, and like
yeah,
I loved the first Godzilla versus Kong. That was I mean, we go back. We're doing the podcast. This is like my number one movie of the year. I just love it. And this one, the new Godzilla and Kong is just like a way more soulless attempt, and it's just like, I mean, it's fun.
Bummer.
The action's not as good. The character development isn't as good. If you care about that, Kong's pretty good. Like he's got some character development, but like it's not as good, not as cool, not as fun, not as interesting. No.
I get that. I mean, it's 4. It's like 4 in the series of it at this point.
It's quite a few, yeah. And like Godzilla versus Kong had like the authenticity of like a new idea of that, of the two of them finally meeting up.
Yeah.
And this is just like an extension of that idea where it's not even like
a buddy cop movie now.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah. And it's just lame. And like even the visuals weren't as good in my opinion, like the CGI fights and stuff like
really?
that. That's what you go there for.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so if you're not even like really doing great sequences, it's just like why did I come here? You know?
Yeah. That's fair. That's totally fair. Damn. I mean, I wish people would like look at some of those because like a lot of the OG or like animated Godzilla movies have like really good storylines. I just wish like our live action could replicate some of that.
It's
with some heart, some thought into it.
The Kong side of it is not terrible. Like it's almost like a silent film because like he gets a little baby Kong by his side after pretty early on, and it's just like him as an old man Kong, kind of like finding a new dude to like teach and hang out with and stuff like that. So it's all like nonverbal, and you kind of have to like actually watch the movie to see what's going on, which is cool. I like that. And then Schlock and other characters, and it all adds up in not the correct way. So
it's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
What other movies are out right now? I haven't seen too much.
Civil War. Go see it.
Civil War just came out.
See it in IMAX too. If you care, the sound design is so fucking good. It's harsh. I jumped multiple times. Fantastic. I'd definitely see it in IMAX.
I will. I'm gonna go see it probably the 19th or the 20th. So
cool.
Yeah. I did actually watch X Alex last week too.
Hey, did you like it?
I liked it a lot.
It fucking rules, doesn't it?
Similar to like what I just said about fresh voices, man. You can feel the like new voice here, and it's like
I love that.
yes, like And a lot of like the moments in the like you feel a jump scare coming, and the director knows it and he subverts it, and then you
Yeah.
go farther down, and then the jump scare happens when you don't expect it, and it's like that guy
Yep.
knows what he's doing, like, and he knows what we're thinking, and he knows how to not do that. It's like, thank God somebody's fucking getting it.
Yeah, when I went and saw it, I was the only one in the theater at like 9 p.m. at night, and I sat down. I'm like, why is no one here? I feel like this is like a horror movie usually does well,
Yeah,
no matter what. It's a horror movie. People like to come see it.
and
And
that
after
one's like,
like watching it, I was like, this is great. This is like the perfect slasher movie right here. I mean, it's got like good comedy in it. It's got obviously sex in it. It's got killing. I mean, what more
telling
can
you
you
what,
ask for?
yeah,
Hey.
right, yeah.
Kid Cudi
It's
hanging
it's Kid
brain.
Cudi,
I
man.
mean,
His character was
Okay.
fucking so cool too. Like,
it
I
was.
Yeah.
loved his character. It was a
Yeah.
great character.
I love KK.
And the creepiness factor in that movie plays more so than just like jump scare shit. Like the
Yeah.
actual creepiness gets to you in that movie, and it's so good, so fucking
Yeah. Like the old people and they're so grimy, but like you want to be like this guy's kind of innocent, but at the same time you could just tell
good.
he's
Something's
not
wrong.
like yeah.
You see
It's
the old
just yeah.
lady just like lurking, way like a distance away. That shit was like the
Yeah.
most effective shots to me, where I was just like, oh my god, what's this thing?
You
So
should
And
you
watch
like,
see,
Pearl.
yeah, we're gonna watch it soon, and then we're gonna go see Maxine in theaters, I think.
Fuck
So
yeah. I'm so pumped for Maxine.
me too. Yeah, yeah. I liked it a lot, and like you said, the comedy, like there was fun in that movie. Like, I don't want to give
Yeah.
too much away, but the way that like it ends with the old lady,
Yeah.
it's just like not what you would think in like a standard horror movie, where it's like she just like
Yeah.
breaks a hip. It's just like fucking hilarious, and that moment is great. But
One of the best moments is when Kid Cudi answers the door and you just see the outline of his
his
penis
dick,
between his legs, and I'm just like, my
let
God,
me go get my
this is
skivvies.
so good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Oh
Mia Goth's
shit.
really good. I was it was
Very
kind of
good.
interesting to see like her and Jenna Ortega together, because they, like I was saying to Emily, it's like after Wednesday and Scream, I guess the newer ones, Jenna Ortega and Mia Goth are probably competing for the same roles. But in X, Jenna Ortega is like innocent still, and she hasn't
Right.
like gotten the dark parts of her acting career out. So
Yeah.
it was kind of cool to see both of them in the movie and see Jenna Ortega starting out too.
Mia Goth is like God mode. I mean, she's playing the old lady and this person, so like
Yeah,
it's like very good.
very
And
well done.
obviously in Pearl, she's cooking. So
Really?
I
Okay.
I, I really like Mia Goth, and I watched that Cronenberg movie. What was it? It was Cronenberg, right?
Is it
Maybe it was
his
his
son?
son.
Yeah.
His son's movie that she's in with Skarsgård,
I
and
gotta
she's
watch
cooking in
Infinity
that
Pool.
too. Yeah, Infinity Pool. That was one of my
Okay.
favorite movies of that year, just because I don't know, the characters in it, the story was different. It's similar to what we've
Fresh
been saying.
voices.
Yeah,
Fresh
fresh ones.
voices.
Mm.
God damn it.
And like Mia Goth is cooking in that one. Skarsgård's cooking. So
Nice.
characters, man, good characters mean everything.
Mm. Nice, man.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I really liked it, and Emily liked it a lot too. So that's
hell
it
yeah.
was successful
I'm
for me.
glad. I took my buddy. When Pearl came out, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go see Pearl because I loved X." And he was like, "Well, I'll go with you." I'm like, "Have you seen X?" And he's like, "No." I was like, "Okay, well, this is like a prequel, so it should be okay." He loved Pearl, so he went home and watched X. He didn't like it as much, but he still really liked it, so
Mm.
that made me
I'm
happy.
kind of worried I won't like Pearl as much. I'm ready to be surprised, but like after
It's a
watching
different,
X, yeah, I'm sure
yeah,
it's different, different time period, different like take. But after watching X, I want to see the sequel. I'm more excited for Maxine, you know. So like,
same, yeah.
I don't know if I want to jump back, but I'm there for it. So,
Pearl's it's different. I mean, I gave them the same rating. They're both 4.5 star movies for me. But
mm,
like, if I had to choose one, X is obviously the more fun one to watch. Pearl is like watching Mia Goth cook and just give you more depth of this
it's a
character
weird
that
ass fucking
you
horny old
yeah,
lady.
exactly.
Yeah,
So it's good.
nice.
Ty West, he has a western that you should check out too. I don't know.
What's that one?
Um, fuck,
He's
I
made a
just
few
watched it
movies.
too.
I like.
Yeah,
I want to say they started in like 2010 kind of times, but
it's it was with John Travolta.
okay, okay.
Valley in the Valley of Violence.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That one's really good. I
I
mean,
think
it's
that
just like a simple western, but it's really good.
nice. I think that's in the movie chest, so maybe when it comes up, we'll watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, enjoyed that one.
I did on a different note, binged 6 episodes of Fallout today while I was working.
Oh
It
shit.
just came out today. I'm already almost done. I dig it. It's fun.
Yeah.
I haven't really played the games, but I'm enjoying the experience as a TV show. So
I walked
check it
and
out.
picked up my boys from across the street. Sarah's parents watch them. Her mom watches them, and so when I picked them up, she was watching it, and it was like she was on episode 3, and I asked her, I was like, "Oh, is he supposed to be like the vault boy like head figure or whatever?" And she's like, "Oh, are you watching this?" I was like, "No, I just Fallout 3 is like one of my most played games when I was growing up.
Oh,
So
hell
like,
yeah. I'd like to hear
yeah,
your
so
perspective on it then, because like I'm sure there's a lot of Easter eggs. I don't know how the story checks out, but
it's from what I've heard, the creator of Fallout from Bethesda, he's like a producer, so he's got a hand in the story, and it's kind of like a before the 101 story in Fallout 3,
okay,
but it's like in the same world.
for sure.
From what I saw, just visually, it feels too artificially bright, like because Fallout is like after the nuclear, and it's super washed out in the game for me. So like seeing these vibrant colors, it kind of took me out of it just a little bit.
I see.
But then I saw like Goggins cooking, and I was like, okay, I could see
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Yeah.
really fun character.
So
I
it
like
has me
the
interested.
for sure. Nice. Yeah, I get what you mean. But the wasteland maybe feels a little too bright.
Yeah.
I like how this. I mean, the world's just fucking weird and cool. Like I like how you get like into the vaults and it's this weird, vibrant, trippy like color scheme and it's like so different in different settings. And you can tell like the set design, the makeup, like they're putting fucking money into it, and it looks. And that's kind of the highlight of the show so far is like the set design, honestly. So
That's the scene I left because it was on episode 4. It was when Walton Goggins um blasts the other ghoul,
mm-hmm.
and he's like cutting him up, and he's saying ass jerky can't
Lunging.
doesn't cook itself or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this scene kind of made me want to watch it just because if Goggins is like one of the pivotal characters, I'll watch it because
Yeah,
his character actually seems interesting.
yeah.
So
They have some other younger actors with like huge roles. Maybe not as compelling, but they still are like interesting characters in
yeah,
that world. So it's like enough to keep me coming back.
I saw the Pit Boys. Obviously, they had the rad roaches and all that stuff, and so
Yeah, yeah. There's
Nice.
some weird ass shit in that universe, and it gets dark. There's some
Yeah.
dark moments, so it's cool.
did you see any
It's
death
right up my
claws at
alley.
all or anything
Oh
like that?
fuck.
What's the death claw look? Is it like a scorpion looking thing or some shit?
It's like
No,
a
it's like a giant ghoul with a hand that's
yeah. It's like werewolf ghoul cross, something like
Oh,
that.
maybe
Yeah.
they did show one.
yeah.
He's like the dude in the robotic suit or whatever gets fucked up by
Oh,
something like that.
dude, that's
There was
okay.
like,
Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah, I was curious about that. Oh,
yeah,
Paladin armor.
it looks pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty well done.
You should play the game though. I mean, Fallout
Dude,
3 is
games
pretty
are
old,
sick.
Kind of made me want
but
to, honestly.
They're
I
good.
really Fallout 3 is like after I played so I played Oblivion a lot, and that was Elder Scrolls 4, and then obviously I moved to Fallout 3 and then Skyrim. But those are like my 3 games that they're all Bethesda games, but
Right.
really
I
good.
hear
I mean,
Elder
really rich
Scrolls
worlds.
6
Yeah.
is like the next game they're making, and then another Fallout game they said, but that's probably 10
Okay.
years down the road or some
Okay.
shit.
Dude, New Vegas was pretty fun. I'd be down if like
Yeah,
this series
so
is
fun.
done. New Vegas, a story in like the New Vegas
Yeah,
post
another
apocalypse.
season. Definitely
Yeah,
go cross country or some shit. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
for sure.
I would eat that shit up. The strip.
Right.
Yeah, I got so much shows I gotta catch up on. I don't know, just haven't been watching them. Fallout. I have the Gentleman, and
Definitely
then
check out the
Hot
gentleman. I'm sure
D's
you'll
coming
like it.
out.
Hot D, bro. Yeah.
Oh god,
That one I'll be
really?
watching in real time because Sarah actually likes that one. So,
Nice.
You
Cool.
know about it, man. I don't know. I'm rewatching Game of Thrones, and
oof,
It's definitely the
that's a
same
tough hang.
life.
I don't mind the end of Game of Thrones. I mean, other than the obvious rushing of everything, the story itself is like still there. The world is still there. But
They start
if
to
they
the
didn't rush
characters
it,
don't feel real at the end, or like they
Like
don't
No,
the
they
connect
last
to
like
the
3
things that
episodes,
yeah,
they just
it's
start
just like
jumping around, and yeah, I get
and they
that.
are making decisions that are just like, who the fuck are you? Like,
Yeah.
storylines
Get away.
forgotten. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't know. I don't mind it. I got much love for it still.
I do like think fondly on at least the first 7 seasons or 6 seasons of that show.
Definitely.
Like similar
Absolutely.
to Fallout, that world is so cool. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
dope. It's dope. I haven't been watching stuff. I've been reading more recently than anything.
Well, la
Yeah.
ti da. Jesus
Yeah.
fuck, dude. God.
You think you're better than us, or
No, I'm just
If
If I
saying.
knew
It's
how to
like,
read, I would.
yeah, Jesus.
yeah.
What you been
I don't
reading?
know. I've been reading. I read The Martian a while ago, so now I'm reading his new book,
Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
I have it on audiobook. I haven't started it up.
Ryan Gosling, he's the star coming out
Oh, that
2025.
shit.
I
Okay.
think it's
That'd be
by
interesting.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller too,
Yep.
which I
Nice.
love those two. So
That'd be
pretty
dope.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been good so far. And then I finished Circe, which was another fucking dope ass modern retelling of a Greek story. Really good.
Nice.
Really good themes. Really good. Her writing is.
You watching Shogun still, or
I caught up yesterday and watched the most recent episode today. And I don't know, the last like 3 episodes, I was like getting more interested in like how they're wrapping up the season, where
yeah?
shit's gonna end up.
The last episode, I was like, okay,
Mhm.
we're going somewhere here.
Yeah.
Like the main girl finally like coming around to be on Toranaga's side or whatever the fuck his name is. Like,
Yeah.
I literally out loud was like, it took 8 episodes.
That's
like,
yeah, that's the most frustrating thing is like it's not clear. It's the only thing that is clear is that nothing is clear. You know, that like nobody, you don't know anyone's like
I'm so confused.
thought process or
Come back to me
allegiances
when
or
this
like
makes sense.
yeah. So it's just like I don't know. It's hard to even like
You
go
just
in,
kinda
be engaged with a character because it's like what are the
Yes.
goals here? What is happening? Like
right. It's just like I'm in the setting. I don't know like why I'm here or what the characters are even
yeah.
fucking talking about half the time. Like,
Other than the
maybe I'm just not.
barbarian, nobody's motivations are like super clear.
Right.
He just wants to go home. He just doesn't want to
Like,
be
I
in
want to
Japan.
get some type of clue
Yeah.
and get out of
Yeah.
here, or like help
So
someone
it's
did help me. But
mhm.
yeah.
So that's like the only thing that's clear. But it's been so frustrating watching Toranaga like and just anybody like not be able to make a decision on anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like what the
Oh,
fuck,
man.
dude. Somebody just make a move. Like
And like the amount of times that they like talk about conflict, and like we said, we don't even know like what the fucking conflict's about. So like it's just
yeah,
like them
yeah.
talking about things that aren't real to the audience. You know,
That's
it's
what I
just
don't
like,
even know what the point other than Toranaga wanting to like wanting and not wanting to establish a new government, take control. Like I don't even know why they're like have this beef. Like is it just a clan beef, a
ego.
historic
Yeah,
beef?
just like
Yeah,
they
I don't
got their
know.
men, he's got his men. They can't fucking agree, and that's
Mhm.
probably it. But
Yeah, it's been a little annoying. But when his
much.
when his son died, after they like met his brother, and his brother was like, "Nah, fuck you, dude. I'm with the old establishment," and then his son tries to kill him and just cracks his head open on a rock. Yeah, I was like,
I
all right.
I kind of like
Gotta
roll
dig it.
my eyes a little bit at like they ended the episode on like a dude slipping and falling. Like,
Yeah, no, I have been laughing at the show, and I don't think like it's been intentional the way
it's
it,
tough.
like,
I wanted to love this show, and I just don't.
yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you there.
Damn.
It's fine.
You're
I'm
getting
sure
really
somebody
fine.
else is like super invested in every like decision and like the dynamics, and they're like, you don't fucking understand like this. And like, okay, yeah, you
By
probably
the next
I know.
episode, none of that shit matters. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like you
And
watch
then it
one
goes back
episode.
to the same conflict of just like sitting in a room arguing about the thing that
Yeah.
doesn't matter. So it's like,
Yeah. It feels very stakeless, very pointless. I'll finish
yeah,
the season, but if it doesn't fucking blow my socks off, then not. And they make
Yeah.
more seasons, yeah, I'm out.
for sure.
I just wanted more samurai bloodshed.
Like if you
I just want-
show me the conflict, I'll be on
Yeah.
board. But it's like I haven't
Mhm.
seen it, so like
Right.
I don't know. You gotta show me it.
It's
not
like Game of
just
Thrones
tell me it.
without that. without like the shit that makes
Right.
without the blood and the guts and the backstabbing. So
Anybody watching Invincible? Just wrapped up the second half of the second season.
I should though. I need to catch up. Maybe I'll watch some of that tonight. Yeah.
Pretty good. I like it, man. I like it more than the first season, honestly. So I think they're just chiseling it a little better and kind of timing things more with the story, and
Yeah,
it's cool. I mean, it's superhero shit, but it's like wilder, and they don't give a shit about characters dying, and it's like
right.
things happen and they fucking matter, and then it keeps going, and the story feels like we're gonna actually get somewhere. That's really cool. So
Yeah, I do like it. I mean, I like the first season, but yeah, I should finish it up.
Yeah.
Good show.
Other
Other than that, I haven't been watching too much.
I rewatched Ocean's 11 and I gave it 5 stars. I think originally I gave it 5 and I bumped it down, and then I watched it again for the 57th time, and I was like, what? It's a 5-star movie, man.
What do
It's just so fucking entertaining, man, and it's just so smooth and cool, and every character is fucking popping every second of the scene that they have, and I love
It's
it.
solid. I think that, I mean, even Ocean's 13 is
It's good. I like that one too.
it took
So,
everything from Ocean's 11 and just was like another one.
yeah, I'll do it. Do it again. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. And most times I'd be like, oh, well, they're just doing the same thing. But in Ocean's 13, it's like, that's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah. I mean, they got a little bit of like the Ruben, where it's like the personal vendetta, which is nice.
Yeah, a little more personal for sure. That's nice.
Yeah, it's a nice little touch, but still got the good like heisty.
All the
everyone's got their
goods.
job. Everyone, yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good movies.
Yeah, I mean, that's about. I watched all the Kung Fu Pandas. I rated every single one 3 stars. Maybe they're just not for me, but they're fine.
Does he say skadoosh in every movie?
Oh yeah, dude. In the 4th one, he gets Aquafina as like a little protege that he's got to name another dragon master, and she says, "Fuck, I already forgot it. It's I don't fucking know. Skadiddle. It's something else."
Skadiddle.
And then the whole movie, he's like, "No, it's." And then at the last moment, with the boss, skadoosh, and it's like, okay, nice.
Aquafina, gross.
Yeah, she's not that bad in that one.
How's that voice work?
It's not terrible, but
Barely.
it's not somebody I would choose.
She started smoking with filters.
Yeah, just menthol now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm checking off the 2024 watch list. I'm trying to catch up on all the ones I missed. So that was one of them. Kung Fu Panda 4.
There's a lot I gotta catch up on.
Yeah, I went on a binge. I watched Night Swim. I'm just doing it to myself, I guess, but they milk it. They milk it for all it's worth.
That Blumhouse, man.
Yeah.
Cheap movies make big money.
Cheap. That must have made more than its budget, but I hope they don't go Night Swim too, because there's only so many times you can get in the pool. That's just my take. But. Well, shit. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we sign off?
No, looking forward to Malick's next movie.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that all day.
Yeah, I'm excited to get in deeper. Yeah, for
sure. I am ready for this 4-day week, and let me I've been working 12 days in a row.
What?
Covering other people's shifts. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice then, for sure. Let's do some golfing. Let's go see some movies.
Yeah.
Let's have a good time.
Yeah, I'll be down.
Cool.
Hey.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you checking out the stream. Check us out next week for more Malick, another movie chest, more chats with the Stay Gold squad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Is Joe going to be joining us at all?